Share what you thinking, what you thinking. What's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what you thinking. Hey, what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what you thinking. Tell me, what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what you thinking. Hey, what's on your mind? Say what you thinking, what you thinking. What's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what you thinking.
Well, welcome back to So What You Think, the men's edition. You see the panel got a little more handsome while we were away. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's hear it for the men. Let's hear it for the men. So let me tell you who's up here. We have Mr. Chevelle Dotson and Inyatu Marvel and Alvin Jackson. So I threw them a little softball question. I try to, ease you into it. So listen, tissue over or under, what we doing?
Tissue? Over.
Over or under?
It's supposed to be over.
What you mean supposed to be?
Because you statistically you use less toilet paper when it's over.
Is that real?
And that's how they do it in the hotel.
I wouldn't lie to you.
What, over or under?
I need it over.
Google.
I need it over.
You over?
I'm over.
Over?
I never realized it made a difference.
Yeah, people,
We're over. I like to pull it under.
I mean, you're going to use it for the same purpose, right? What difference does it make if it's over or under? You're going to use it the same way.
No.
Over.
It flows better over?
Over. He likes to put the point in it.
Let me tell you something. When I put that question up on Facebook, people be going crazy over there. No, because I'm going to tell you, like they passionate about that over under. Like, I mean, my God.
Sugar on grits, right? Okay.
Sugar on grits?
Salt. Salt.
I don't think I've ever. That's cream of wheat.
Huh?
That is cream of wheat.
That's what I say.
Yeah, that's cream of wheat. Grits is grits, cream of wheat is cream of wheat.
Grits and savory.
All right, y'all, let's get into it.
You got a question?
You want to own the over and under?
I actually had a little experience with that with my boyfriend.
Boyfriend? Wait a minute.
What had happened with that?
To him, it was really serious.
Okay.
I liked mine over, only because I think that when it's over, it doesn't rub the back of the wall of where it is. So I think it keeps it cleaner.
Okay.
So he liked his under.
Okay.
So the paper ran out when I went in the bathroom, and I put it in my way. And then he comes to me, well, you put that in wrong. I looked at him. I said, really? I said, what did I do? Because I didn't even realize it. He said, you should have put that toilet paper under. I said, if you're looking for an argument, you're not going to get one. Because if that's the way you like it, when I put it in wrong, you should take it out and put it in right. But now that I know, I'll try to be a little bit more observant.
Was he cute?
That's important. That's critical.
And are you still with him?
Was he bodied? You know what I'm saying? Was he bodied and all that?
What about it?
Because if he was, then I'm going to put it on there like he wanted.
Well, I'm not, I was not going to go back and put it on like he wanted. I mean, it was a mistake. As far as he was concerned.
It's a good thing you ain't got him no more, because that's too much to be arguing about.
Amen.
It's just for fun. He done took it for serious.
Can I be fully transparent?
What is that?
If I go to your house and it's under,
I'm
the one that turns it around.
You gonna turn it around?
I do that.
I didn't observe it before I took it out.
Control freak
it was
much?
near the end.
Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. Let's jump into some of our real talking. So here we go. Kevin Samuels. You all familiar? Y'all familiar with Kevin? Okay. So the high value woman, high value man stuff. Why do you think he was so popular with people, Kevin Samuels?
I can speak on that.
Okay.
I think that traditionally women have been allowed to express themselves a lot more and have had the freedom to go in on the deficiencies of men or the flaws of men or the things that they don't appreciate. And so I think a lot of men found themselves championing him just because he was able to speak and express himself, even if he wasn't necessarily speaking for them. But I will clarify that I was not a fan.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
You know what? I actually kind of was a fan slightly.
Right.
I think that
was
his
entertaining
delivery
to me.
was sometimes off.
Rude.
But he actually told the truth about a lot of things. And he kind of got on men and women both.
He did.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Right.
So I'm always concerned when somebody finds more joy in the brutality of the honesty than
his
the
his
actual
delivery
honesty.
was-
Right,
He took
right.
a lot
His
of
delivery-
pleasure
his delivery
in the
was off.
brutality, and I just don't support that. That's divisive.
I think in this
I
era
agree
of
with that.
social media, he was a polarizing figure. So polarizing creates a lot of controversy, right? So you got people that want to express their opinions on both sides. But as he stated, the platforms for men to express themselves are minimal.
Right.
Because men don't generally get into that.
Right.
And that added a platform for men to express themselves. So that, I'm sure, had a lot to do with his popularity.
Well, here's the thing. He started off being that way with men.
Right.
Oh, did
And
he?
it-
Yes, he
Oh,
started
yeah.
with men.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it wasn't he wasn't monetizing on that part. So he flipped it and had the same energy that he had for the men for the women.
Absolutely.
And that's when the men were like, yeah,
I did
that's
not
what I
know
wanted you to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. See, I was never able to sit through like a whole episode.
Neither
and
was
then
I.
there were parts of me that wanted to call in there to see if he would talk to me like that.
He would.
You know,
Yeah.
I
he
know.
would.
That's what I'm saying. And then he'd be quiet, shut up, you don't let me talk. I was like, somebody really didn't let you talk. I understand. Did nobody let you talk and you got to walk over to people. But he was doing so well. It was really sad that he passed away like that, you know, because
Was it sad?
It wasn't sad.
I was sad that he passed away.
I don't think
Yes.
it was sad. How
he's
he
gone.
to go.
Somebody gone.
No, it was sad that he went away. I don't, you know,
I was sad for him.
I still
'Cause,
had
human
mayo
was
on my
gone.
sandwich that day.
oh my goodness.
How y'all gonna do him like that when his mama gonna be maybe see y'all talking about her baby like that?
Nah, bless his heart. He served a purpose.
He did.
It just wasn't my purpose,
But his videos live on. So
unfortunately.
Yes, they
all
do.
day, every day.
I don't put question marks where God already put a period.
But what do you think about him rating the
word.
women and stuff?
Well, the women put themselves in those positions. So
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you want to shut somebody down, you don't give them energy. They gave him energy, and that energy gave him power, and it boosted him. So I can't blame him for what he did. I blame the women for giving him the opportunity
To rate
to do that to them.
Did he ask them to rate themselves, or did
No,
he rate
he
them?
rated
He
them.
rated
Oh,
them.
no, I thought the first young
Well,
lady
no,
went-
he
You're
did
a
ask
four
them.
man, but
He
then
did ask them
he
to
would
rate
come back
themselves.
with his own opinion.
Yeah.
Sometimes he would.
But he gave them the opportunity to rate
He did.
themselves,
Yeah,
and he
he
thought
did.
that they would rate themselves
It-
a lot higher than they actually should be. So,
And then he was always messing with Big Shirley. You know, I ain't appreciate that. You know, because I'm going to tell you something. I challenge you to find many women of size that ain't got a man or some children. Somebody tell me that I'm wrong. Somebody tell me, I'm
I've
telling you,
been
they
every
gonna keep
weight
a man.
class and never
They
had a
gonna
problem.
Keep 'em one. They gonna keep them one. I don't care what you said. The big girl gonna keep her somebody.
I think he
Yes,
really
you
got like that a little bit more when he felt like somebody was being combative with him. I think
Yeah.
that's what that was about.
Exactly.
But
Big
you know,
Shirley?
yeah, Big
No,
Shirley
he was
came
just
out
always
with-
on the big girl. He was always
It wasn't
on the big
always.
girl.
Because I did listen to a lot of stuff he said, and like I said, I didn't necessarily agree with everything he would say, and his delivery would sometimes be a little much. He was very harsh with the
little?
delivery. Yeah, but he was harsh evenly with men and women. I've seen him do both.
But Kevin liked the big girls. He liked to take somebody else in public, but he really did like a big girl.
I don't think, you know what, I don't think it was so much that he didn't like big women. I think that he was saying that you kind of if you're saying you want what is considered a high value
High-value
man
man.
and that whole thing, he
So a
was
big
saying,
girl
okay,
can't have a rich
now,
man?
he was saying it's not likely.
Stedman got
Because he
a
can
big
pick
girl.
any woman that he
Stedman
wants. Like
has
he
a
was
big girl.
being realistic.
Have y'all seen some of these NFL players' wives? Like, that's
Yeah.
just not universally true. That, you know, I knew a famous rapper who, in front of everybody else, he gonna have the trophy woman, but behind closed doors, all he want to talk about is Big Shirley.
He know what time it was.
we call that anecdotal.
Is that what it is?
We call that
I think
anecdotal.
we need
He knew what time it was. A whole bunch of them do. I don't care what y'all say. All right, y'all, let's take a break. We'll be back and we'll continue with So What You Think? I thought that was...
Shit, what you thinking, what you thinking?
Okay, guys, so listen. I'm from the era of before there was answering machine. If somebody wanted to talk to you, they would call and say, hello, is Inyatu there? No, he's not. May I take a message? And everybody got your message. And then the answering machine came in. And then you had to sit through everybody's message to get to your message. So what is the big deal with somebody having your passwords and being able to hear your messages? Why y'all so tight?
My password is on my entire phone, not just for voicemail.
I mean for your wife now, not a girlfriend, for a wife.
I've never been married. I'll have to pass that to one of the other gentlemen.
Okay.
He's going to defer.
So do you think if you were married, you would be okay with your wife being able to hear your messages, access your stuff, social media and all that stuff?
Honestly, no. I think if my friend wants to call me and vent to me and tell me his personal business and it just be between he and I, then I don't think that I should be giving my wife access to his personal life in that way. That's just my humble opinion. And I'm a businessman. There's a lot of business that comes through my phone, social security numbers and things of that nature. And so that's really the real reason for a password.
You are hit by a car. Wait a minute. You are hit by a car. And they say, who you want us to give your phone to, your wife or your best friend? Who y'all
Give it
getting
to
that
my
phone
best friend.
No, if I'm married, give it to my wife.
What you doing, Alvin?
All
Who
right.
you get that phone
What you
to,
talking
Alvin?
about, Willis?
Put that emoji.
So in my opinion, each person has to keep, as a man, you have to establish some lines in your life, even when you're married. You have to have, your wife deserves to have a little bit of privacy, and I believe as a man, you deserve to have a little bit of privacy. Who would I want my phone to go to in that case if I got hit by a car? If I'm married, might as well give it to my wife. She's gonna end up with it anyway. But and in the meantime, I think I definitely, if I got a business, I'm gonna probably have a second phone.
But watch this.
Or a second
So
number.
if your husband were to give you his phone, do you have the right, would you be going through his phone while he in there having surgery on his leg?
No.
I'm going through it to
Tell
call
the truth
What about
now.
that?
No, I wouldn't.
You would not.
What am I going through it for?
I don't know. You got access
That
to the
is
phone?
question.
It just depends.
See, this one here always got to come down
It
the road.
depends.
It's always
No, because I've been in that situation
Okay.
before. So my husband's phone is, I know his password and all that, but I don't just, every day just like, let me look on the phone, because I don't really have a reason to. There's no need for me to be going through
So
his
how
phone.
often do you go through the phone if it's not every day?
If there's something I need. So he had been in the hospital and I needed to go through there, but I mean, it just depends. I don't just go in there just because it's Tuesday, I want to go on the phone.
Wait till Wednesday.
I feel like if you're married, then having the password or code is just
Yeah,
par for
you
the
should at
course.
least know it.
But if you're in there, there's a reason that you're in there. And if you're snooping, something has you triggered to do that. It could be your own insecurity or it could be a change in his behavior.
Now, me,
But for me, I just
don't have
wouldn't do
time
it.
to babysit nobody.
I'm not
Do
even
what you
Agreed.
say you're going to do. Go where you say you're going to go. Because if my spidey senses kick in and this hair right here stand up on my arm, please don't make me go through your stuff. Because now I got to turn into I Spy.
Right.
Well, the way the
If I
universe
find
feels.
the look, I'm ready to
Go ahead,
leave.
Roncita. Go ahead.
No, I said seeking you shall find.
You absolutely will.
But isn't that
You'll
why
I ain't
create
scared to
something.
find it.
Now my thing is, you should not go sit. If I'm seeking, it's because I'm ready to do something about it. I already
Right.
kind of already know, and I kind of just want that, okay, yeah, this is what this is. Let me just go on about my business. But if you know you're not going nowhere, just let him cheat in peace.
I agree with that, and I don't think
point.
you should go confronting anybody about what you found. What you gonna do about what you found? That's the
Right.
question. Are you gonna
Exactly.
do something or no? Because if you're not, be quiet.
Exactly.
There you
It's not-
go.
because you don't set somebody up to have to lie to you either. If you see
Absolutely.
it, you see what it is. What you need
It's the
somebody
mortgage
to confirm
and the
it for
car
you. I
note
see
paid.
it.
That's all I want to know.
I read the text message. It said, hey, blah, blah, whatever, you so, You done read it. You already see what it is.
You're right.
So what I'm going to go ask you about it for?
Had a woman leave a listening device in my car.
Somebody had one in your
Listening
apartment?
device.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Do tell.
Wait a minute, a listening device for what now?
In his house.
To listen.
Oh, that's a lot.
Wow.
That's too much.
I had
doing
this
too much.
conversation with somebody about your spidey senses, because women all believe that they have them.
Mine
we
was.
do.
Okay,
We do.
so
And do.
so the situation could develop, and it has. I've been in this situation before where the spidey senses were wrong, and now we got a problem. Because now you dug through my business.
This little patch right
and
here.
Now you don't. Now I feel you don't trust me. And if you don't trust me, then why am I here anyway?
But see, that's what I'm
Because that's the
saying.
same
I ain't got time to be looking at what you're doing. But if the spidey sense kick in, you doing something.
Let them be right.
You know,
Just let them be right.
Something going on up in
Well,
here.
how do you know that she was looking? Because you didn't have no business knowing that.
What you mean?
He said that she was wrong. So I'm
We had
thinking
the
she was
conversation.
wrong.
Yeah, we
So
had
she
the
came and
conversation
told
afterwards.
you she looked and didn't find
Afterwards,
something.
right? We had the
now
conversation
see,
afterwards.
That's crazy.
Right.
Why you doing that?
So
Fellas,
smart.
are y'all paying attention to this?
She
Like,
ain't
women
so
gonna reveal.
That's right.
They went through your stuff. And
Oh, girl, you did that wrong,
Revealing
girl.
nothing. I'm
You
gonna be
did that
quiet.
wrong, girl.
Yeah, she did
I
that
mean,
wrong.
she went and looked and didn't found nothing and then told on herself.
No, eventually
Girl.
it was discovered that she found something because eventually y'all gonna say something to give y'all away.
I
that y'all was
would
looking.
tell y'all a story.
The only reason you know that is you had to
I
look.
would tell y'all a
and now
story, but
know
I
you
can't
look.
tell on myself.
So now we gotta have another conversation.
Hold on. You have a comment?
I do. I'd like to weigh in.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes when you put important information, bank accounts, they make you put a code on. My husband, who does not believe in any of that, he doesn't do any business as far as credit cards in his phone is open. I have access to it all the time, but I'm never curious unless, like you say, the hairs on your arm stand up. But we've been together for so long that I don't even worry about that.
Like
So
When he switches up that
always knows
cologne.
his options, I know my options, so I don't dig in his phone. If I get his phone, if mine is dead and I want to use his because it's dead,
Yeah.
I may go through his pictures, but it's not that I'm looking for
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, cheat on. We've been together 20 years. I'm not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere, so I don't worry about that. But his phone is not locked. Mine is, but because I do business in my phone, my bank account, credit cards, things like that. And that's only because my bank has made me do it.
Yeah.
And then you may have a child that get it and keep it and use
Yeah,
it.
but
So
you gotta
that also-
only be somewhere where you trust something, you know.
Right.
But like I said, I could tell y'all a story. Ooh, child, I could tell y'all a story, but I can't tell on myself like that. But I'm gonna tell you something now. Let me see how I can tell y'all this story right fast. So,
You want to
see
wait
what
till
I
the next
will tell
segment?
you what I want. Okay, but this what had happened was. What had happened was.
Jen, you want to
my
wait till the next
spider-
segment?
Look here, my spiders. This here had kicked in. I said, "Oh yeah, something is afoot." And so the person said to me, "If you think that, then look." And I said, "You are on notice." So I looked. And everything I found that belonged to somebody, I took it home with me. Now, you know why? You can't ask me for it. I was in your bathroom and I saw stuff in the cabinet that was like lady stuff and all that kind of stuff. I just took it with me.
And he doesn't have sisters.
You can't ask me for it.
That's
What you
not
gonna
healthy.
say? Where was that makeup that was in it? You can't. But what I wanted you to know was that I had seen that.
And y'all two had
And let me throw this out
response.
here to y'all. This just I'm gonna give y'all this right. If you oh yeah, listen. If you at somebody's house and they say, I ain't dating nobody, and you pull that shower curtain back and there's 2 towels in there and 2 different kinds of stuff that you wash up with and one of them real fruity, somebody lying. Now I can't give y'all no more of my nuggets for free. I have to write a book.
Jennifer,
Go ahead.
I got you beat. What
Uh-huh.
I did was I took her stuff and I threw it over the washing machine and dryer.
Uh-oh.
So I would take her stuff around the house because she was trying to, mark it like a puppy. So I took it, threw it over the washing machine and dryer. So she didn't even know where her stuff was. And I took her house coat and I threw it in the garbage outside.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, I have questions.
yeah, but they try to mark their territory, and like you said you didn't have anybody.
Right.
Now she gonna want her stuff back, and you can't get
She
it.
got to ask you about it,
Right.
and you can't ask me about it.
Right.
And
But what was your position with him?
yeah.
You mean how did I feel about him?
No. What was your position in his life?
I was the #1 girlfriend.
That's what he told you.
She's the number one.
That's what I know.
#1.
That's what you got.
You would have to hear that whole story, and by the time you get through, we would be drinking. So it's a whole story to that. But I'm just laughing because that's what I did. I threw all her stuff, like Jennifer said. Now you're gonna have to.
Don't be
ask
talking
for
about
it.
what I said.
Jennifer, you just admitted now you had a story.
We gotta go.
I was just concurring on that story because I'm telling you, once you find out, then they have to, come back and admit it some kind of way.
That's on you.
So.
All right now. Girl.
Nah.
All right, y'all, we got
But it made me feel good.
Okay. That part. All right, y'all, we got to take a break for the calls. We'll be back, though.
Share what you thinking, what you thinking. What's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what you thinking. Hey, what's on your mind?
All right, you guys, so let's get back to another one here for you all. Couples therapy. What y'all think about couples therapy? You good with that?
I'm good with that. Yeah.
I'm definitely in support of couples therapy.
Yeah.
I think everybody probably needs it.
Yes.
But let's say that you are dating someone for only 3 months and they want to go to couples therapy because y'all don't, you fight a lot. Does that make sense to you? You dating somebody I just saw this what happened with somebody on TV. So
not for
3 months, she wanted to do couples therapy. What y'all think about that?
I think it depends on the situation. I've seen people get married in less than 3 months. So if you guys are moving in a certain direction, don't wait till it's a problem.
Right.
You start collecting some solutions and some healthy habits right at the beginning of the relationship, and then you don't have to do so much to try to fix it later on.
You always have some good outlooks.
I like that.
I'm a couples therapist. I'm a couples counselor. So
You have some good outlooks.
premarital and marriage.
That's well, okay, yeah, because you always have some good outlooks.
I believe in therapy.
When I'm a couple, I'm gonna find you, so we can sit up in there and talk.
I believe in therapy and ongoing therapy, but if we're already arguing to that point in 3 months, I'm ready to. We need to break up.
Yeah, right.
We can be friends.
We ain't together. We arguing that much.
We
3 months.
already spending team money, and it ain't been 90 days.
We don't even have team colors yet.
Right.
But that girl told him, she said, this will help us to be able to navigate through the hiccups that we're having now. And I thought, this is just too much work, girl. If y'all
3
need
months.
therapy now, what you gonna need after y'all get married?
Right.
Surgery. Exactly.
I don't see it being I don't see it being a problem.
You can go to the microphone if you want to say
I
something.
can see it being a healthy
Go to the
part of the process. I think a lot of us just look at therapy as a negative thing, when in actuality, it can be very helpful. Because we're so set in our ways, especially the older we get and we're dating in our 50s and above, we're set in the way that we feel about things. But just because we're set in it doesn't mean we're right in it. So maybe tweaking how we think and how we operate in a relationship is necessary. And that would come with some therapy because we can't always heal ourselves. We need to.
I agree absolutely with therapy.
Yeah.
But that 3 months is a red flag. If we need therapy in 3 months, I'm going to find somebody else to do it. I don't have time for 3 months in therapy.
I'm of the idea that it doesn't take a whole day to recognize sunshine. If I
But
realize
there's no
that
sunshine. It's already a storm.
If I realize that this man is actually for me, but we just have certain issues in certain areas that we need to get over, therapy
In
can.
3 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how
But
did
she
you
didn't
get to
say
therapy?
certain issues. She
That's-
said
that
it
would
was
be the question.
arguing. They arguing.
Every day?
You want to argue. You mad.
You want mad. You want
Argue with you?
Wait
Go
a minute,
ahead,
you have a
Shar.
comment?
So what I'm saying is some people never understood or know the importance of healthy communication. And I think building a foundation in a relationship that way, that's where therapy comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but in 3 months, I don't want those type of issues with you already. It's just too much too soon.
Right.
Right. That
For
is the
me.
I don't know. I can't say that it's too soon. It's better that it comes out now because then you can both make a decision whether you want to stay or you want to work through it.
I don't want to stay.
I think
I'm
if
ready to
you're
go in 3 months if we got to have therapy already.
But I think if you're fighting like that already,
to
you
the
don't
mic.
like each other.
Right.
I don't like you.
Right.
Because I don't want to argue.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can talk, we can work through some, but I don't want, if you arguing, you got to go.
Yeah, 9 to 3 months.
To even be thinking about.
Yes, you have a comment?
Go ahead, Chi-Chi.
So on this therapy thing, and I will just say, I have a coworker that we talked about this. So he's dating this young lady, and he feels like a lot of times she puts him in compromising positions where, like, if they're with family, she talks negatively about him, trying to get the friends to come to her side versus his side. And then she wants to be married to him and trying to make him look like more than what he really is, trying to make him buy her a ring and all of these things. And then she say, well, why don't we go to therapy? And I told him, I said,
She need therapy.
I said, right. I was just like, this is someone you're dating, and this relationship has not been that long. Why would you see all these red flags, want to go to therapy with someone and commit all of this? No, I was like, no,
But
no
I have a
therapy. If you
question
go
for
to
you.
therapy, you
I have
go
a
to
question
therapy
for
for
you.
yourself.
Wait, I have a question for you. I
Something
have a question
that
for
you
you
need
on
to
that.
fix.
This co-worker, was y'all at lunch when y'all was talking about this? I'm
Wait.
just teasing with you.
Is her insurance paying for it? Because then he can go.
I didn't ask those questions.
Oh, yeah, he can go if her
just told
insurance
him, that's a no. You trying to put too much into fixing something, and it's you see the red flags. Flee. Go and do your own thing. You're too young. Find somebody that's going to
Find somebody
compliment
else to
you,
do it.
somebody that's not going to make you look bad in front of people, things like that. That it's too much time invested. Cut it now and move on.
Right.
Because
I
there is
agree.
somebody out there for you.
Right.
With those
Okay.
issues, I would agree. Because if that was my brother, I would tell him the same thing. Don't bring that crazy up in here.
I like to comment on this.
Okay.
I had a client that had this problem, and I had to help her resolve it.
Just speak up.
Okay. I would say no. The reason why is that at this particular incident, the guy was casing her for what he could get later on. So therefore, she was all happy, excited, and he suggested, let's go to therapy. She said, for what? And he was going to convince her that she was having problems. So therefore, if they got married, therefore she would be laid up and he could be able to do what he wanted. And he finally admitted it in the therapy session. And I said, why did you do that? And he says, because I could. You know, it really wasn't. So first of all, before you connect to anyone, you should know the person at least 6 months. I know I have two clients that was love at first sight. They met on Friday, flew to Las Vegas the weekend, got married, and they're still married. It's 20 years from now.
Yeah.
But that was different because they saw what they needed in each other. She didn't see anything in this guy. She just said he was cute. Oh, Mrs. Price, he's so cute. So what?
Q can't pay the bills.
Exactly.
I say no.
You never know.
I thought we was talking about getting along. You might be rich. You pay the bills.
You know what, you all, let's hit this again right quick. We came across it earlier, but you know, with our technical difficulties. But when a marriage ends, should a woman give the last name back?
The Marvel name is worth billions. If we have not been married for years and had children and something really invested, then yes, I want that name back. If we just did what she said, we met on Friday and on Sunday we went in Vegas and got married, but it doesn't last 20 years, it only lasts 3 months, and I need that name back.
Yeah. As I said, it's my stage name now, so I can't. She ain't gonna do it. Yeah. Yeah. And you ladies, would you give the name back?
Well, I did mine for various reasons because I have a hyphenated name as well. My maiden name was Lee. Then I married. Now, I'm married again, but I kept my ex last name because I have business. I have a lot of things in my last name, so it's a lot.
It's a lot of hassle to go around changing names.
But it is a big deal for a man to want to give you his last name.
Right.
So I could almost understand them wanting it back. Now, he ain't gonna get this one back.
Right.
But I can understand. I do understand. I want y'all to know I'm understanding.
keeping red.
Easy,
I'm
okay?
sorry.
All right, you all, let's take a break and we'll be back for more of So What You Think, the men's edition.
Yeah. I didn't know your maiden name was
Share what you thinking, what you thinking. What's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what you thinking. Hey, what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what you thinking. What's on your mind?
All right, guys. We're going to ask you to help us with something. The ladies, help us ladies understand something. When men retreat, right, or, just pull away, and they are in a relationship that they do like you, it's not a problem that he doesn't like her. Can you help women understand why it is that men need to retreat as they grow in a relationship with someone?
I didn't understand.
You don't understand that? What I'm saying is that men sometimes can, like you ever be dating somebody and then the person just kind of pulls away from you just a little bit and then they come back as if nothing was ever wrong. That doesn't always mean that somebody's cheating or whatever the case may be. Men work things out, I think, to themselves. They don't need you for that. And you can't get all up in arms. He didn't call me today. Oh, what's wrong with it? See how she looking? See, you ain't never got no patience for nothing. But I'm just saying that sometimes
I feel like
men don't
got to
need
get
you
some
while they
things
trying to
together
figure
first
some
and then
things
come
out.
back. He got to get all those extra situations he had together first.
I don't mean it's
and
an
then
ex.
come back.
I don't mean it's an ex, but he may just be reevaluating how he feels about you. Do I want to move to the next level? He need a little space.
Most of the time when you meet people and they're single, they're still probably dating, which is okay. So then it's like, okay, I think I'm serious about you. Let me clear the rest of these situations up, and then I'm going to probably come back.
So what if he pulling away so he can clear them situations up? You good with that?
What am I going to do about that?
Are you all right while he pull away, while he clear these situations up?
I'm going to check into some other situations while he figuring out those situations.
I'm not.
You don't get a man back like that? Jay-Z say? You don't get a man back like that?
I thought you meant.
You say you don't?
No. Well, Jay-Z said that in the song.
Okay,
I'm just being silly.
Okay.
I thought you meant while in a relationship, they kind of withdraw a little bit.
I do mean that because sometimes to get to the next level, like he may start thinking, do I really, is she the one? And do I want to go to the next level? And do I want to ask her to marry me? Sometimes men can try to pull away a little bit while he's trying to figure some things out.
And you want to know why they do that.
Help women understand why they do that and don't get all up in arms because they do.
You got something, bro? I look at it as you probably saw something that you didn't see in the beginning. So now you feel like, okay, let me think about this for a minute. I was interested, but now I'm seeing a different side that I didn't see knowing you before. So that kind of make me pull it back to make me think about it for a second.
Yeah, you might want to reflect yourself. And oftentimes, as a man, our biology is different. Our thought processes are different. Some say women think emotionally and men think logically. And so sometimes, now that's a conversation that could be had as well. If I'm a real man, I can have that conversation with you and say, hey, look, I need to take a pause right here and I need to have some introspection or reflect and see where I'm at with this situation before we go forward.
That part.
That makes sense.
That's very important.
Yeah, no,
the
that
fact
makes
that you took the time to say, hey, this is what I need to do. Because a lot of times they don't give us no light, no flashing lights, thunder, nothing. They just bounce and
But when
you
he comes back
why.
and everything's fine, shouldn't that tell you that it wasn't what you thought it was?
But if he left with no explanation, everything isn't fine.
Whether it
I'm not saying he
was what I
shouldn't
thought
tell
it
you.
was, I'm just saying it's just nice. Communication, I am the poster child for communication.
Okay.
The simple fact that he said, he took the time to say, hey, listen, this is what I'm about to do. It ain't got nothing to do with you. I just need this time. Then we good. I'll see you when you come back.
He
But
say
you
that, and then
just-
this what happened. Girl, he gonna tell me.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. What's your response?
Not me.
Girl, you know you lying. I was probably
Not
doing
me.
something ain't got no business.
But that's a genuine angle, though, as a man. Like, again, we got this thing that we call ourselves a man. What is a man? A man is being able to stand up and vocalize what your feelings are, right? We don't have to cry. But if I'm a man, I can face you with whatever it is that the issue is. Now, if I don't do that, then I run the risk of her checking in on some other situations.
And Sharice will check on a
If I
situation.
ghost her, then I run that risk.
Hey,
But if I
big
feel
head.
like it's worth taking that risk, then that's on me as a man inside of it. I want to take the risk. I'm fine with it. I may lose her, but that was the choice I made. Otherwise, I need to have that conversation.
And what say
I
you?
know we would love to make this universal and like it's always the same situation.
Right.
But sometimes the man is not sure why he needs to pull back to try to explain to you in the beginning. And if he just throws something out there, he may be giving you misinformation. And so even in the professional setting, sometimes companies send you on a retreat, right? Because you need to get away from the status quo to be able to see things a little more clearly. So sometimes a man may just back away a little bit so that he can see things from a different angle. Because when we are juicing and kissing and all of these things every day, it may be hard to see things clearly.
Again, you might run the risk.
I thought I was the only person who used that term. Go ahead.
What is for me is for me. I'm not worried about losing anything.
Okay.
And all of that is fine. Again, all you gotta do is set up a flag, smoke signal, something to say, hey, this is what
Are we
it is.
talking about ghosting or just pulling back?
Just pulling back.
Just pulling back.
But
Okay.
exactly.
When he
Oh, you
comes
know the
not
difference
that
between
long.
ghosting and pulling back.
Because the
you do.
emotional water sign Pisces that I am, as soon as he goes ghost, I'm like, what happened? What did I do? What did I say? Now I'm going back to conversations, but I'm looking through text. That didn't sound problematic. Now I'm confused. So if you don't tell me what it is, I'm going to make up in my mind what it could be.
But if
and
he's
I could be
ghosting,
totally off base.
But if he's ghosting, he ain't coming back no
That's
way.
right, that's
So
totally
and that's
you
what
need
I'm
to
saying.
He
But for
may.
me, it'll take a minute.
He
But if he
may.
comes back and explains it to you and it sounds good, are you willing to readjust all that you just convinced yourself of?
Maybe.
If he knows me like he knows me,
He know now.
won't come back because he knows.
What
I'm
did
sorry,
you
you
want to say
have a
about that?
comment.
Hi, ladies. I just wanted to say that a lot of times men don't take breaks. That's what I was always told. So the woman may be like, okay, I have this going on. I can't, be romantic with you. But that has nothing to do with the fact that men don't take breaks. So when you come and say, I need a break, of course a woman is going to think, oh, because you're out with somebody else or whatever. That's all I had to say.
I don't disagree
I would
with
say
that.
define your break.
Yeah.
What is the definition of your
I
break?
think the break is just pulling,
Communication.
like he just may not answer a call. Or do you want to hang out? No, not today. I
Fellas,
think
what's
I'm
the
just
definition
gonna-
of break?
Yeah.
Men's edition.
Yeah. What is a break?
Y'all have been
What is a
answering for
break?
us a lot. I'll point that out. But again, different strokes for different folks. My alone time is healthy for me. That I need, I don't always want to deal with myself, much less anybody else. I need a break from everything at some point. And
Yeah.
so, and I think it's healthy.
As a person, it's your right. You have the option to do it any way you see fit. But just understand the risks that come with that choice.
Right.
It's always a risk.
Right.
There are some guys that really don't even care.
That part.
He don't care what's going
As
to
far
happen.
as what? As far as
Step back, whether you decide to see somebody else or not. In his eyes,
He's
hey,
good with that.
it's just like he said, if it's for me, it's for me. If it's not, it's not.
What God has for me.
Men's edition.
Well, I wouldn't say that it doesn't care. I just
Hashtag
trust that things happen the way they're supposed to. And so I'm not ghosting anybody and I'm not cutting off all communication, but I may be less communicative for a few days if I feel like I need to, again, for whatever reason. If it's healthy for me, I think it's a good thing. And I respect anybody else's right to do something that's healthy for them. And so if you need to go on a staycation by yourself, or you need to go on a girls trip, or whatever it is that you need to do that makes you happy,
Right.
I support it, because that's why I want to show up to this relationship, is someone who's happy already. Right?
So that's the difference in the ghosting and communication to me.
I think
Right.
the communication.
Yeah.
I think it's the communication.
Right.
Ghosting is just disappearing, period, and not saying
Right,
anything
exactly.
else
Yeah.
again.
When we come back, I have a question I want you guys to ponder while we're on break, and that's, dear women of 2023, here's what we men want you to know. Got that? Just some message you'd like to share with the women here in 2023. We're going to take a break and we'll be back.
Hashtag men's edition.
Share what you thinking, what's on your mind?
Men, what is it here in 2023 you would like for women to know? Dear women of 2023, here's what we'd like for you to know as men to women.
That it's all right to be natural.
Okay. All right now.
I mean, because you never know what you're getting under all the makeup, the weave, the BBLs, and then this independent stuff. And I hate to go there, but I'm gonna go there because this is men edition, right? You all done got so independent, and I'm hoping I don't get off the topic, that you really don't even need us that much anymore. And I'll put a quote right in there where everybody know about the rose, right?
The rose.
The rose. Everybody know about the rose, right?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Everybody know about the rose, right? This is the men edition, right?
Men's about to blow up.
So you all done got to a point that even though now you making all this money, but now you don't need a man to even satisfy you because you got the rose to do.
Still need you.
So I can drop the mic.
Still need you. Still, no, don't drop it. Don't drop it.
Who else got something they want to say?
Still want you.
I open a can of worms. But hey, she wanted to know, and that's how I feel. If you're going to be natural about it, we need to know what we're seeing in the beginning.
Why is she looking at me like this?
I don't want to get home and I saw you in the club one way, and then when we, you go take a shower, and I wake up the next morning, I'm looking at a different person than I saw the night before.
Yes.
Okay, so it's okay to be natural.
It's okay to be natural,
Okay.
and embrace it. I mean, I don't want you to, just be natural and embrace it.
Okay.
Yes.
What?
Do you think the men kind of set women up to make them feel like it's not okay to be natural?
So what I was going to add to the conversation is that you can't allow anybody to speak for everybody. The only thing that's true about all men is that we all have a certain anatomy, I guess. But outside of that, I don't know that a man could totally universally speak for me. And even if it is the majority, you don't need the majority of men to like natural. All you need is one man to like natural. And so we often get caught up in the rhetoric, especially the popular rhetoric, and usually that's the rhetoric that's a little off, right? That's why it's going viral, because it's controversial and divisive. And so when a man speaks for men, he's speaking for some, he's not speaking for all. So that's something I definitely would like for women to know.
Appreciate that.
And Alvin, what about you?
If I'm speaking to the women of 2023, what men would like you to know is that we're really very easy creatures to figure out.
Interesting.
Fix us a sandwich. Let us have an hour apiece when we come in the house, and get out from in front of the TV while we're watching the game. You got it. We're probably gonna stay with you forever.
That's simple.
We're really very simple.
That's the rhetoric I was talking about.
We're really very simple.
I don't want a sandwich,
Alvin,
and I don't care about the game.
I'm being sarcastic, but we're really very simple. It's not complicated to deal with us, but I'm being a little sarcastic, but you put those things in perspective. We're not that, men are not complicated.
So you don't want us in heels while we're cleaning?
Well, that's another conversation.
I'll take it.
Adjustment.
I'm never going to tell you no for that. Put those heels on. No, what I would like to share with women, and I think maybe it's important for women to remember, is that most of the change that has happened from tradition to modern, women have led that change. That women led the right to work, women led the sexual liberation movement, and so a lot of the conversation out here is about how men aren't the same, and a lot of times women just aren't recognizing how they've changed. And so demanding that tradition from a man while simultaneously standing on your right to be as modern as you would like to be is the cause of a lot of the problems between the genders right now.
Okay. Now we're gonna leave the men on what they had to say. We ain't about to debate that part because I did ask them what they wanted to share.
That's right.
So we're gonna put a period in there right there.
Okay.
But now submissiveness. What is its value and what does it look like to you? What is submissiveness? Is that a bad thing, good thing? What do you?
I love to touch on that. I never have submission conversations with women, and one of the reasons why is what I understand submission to mean is both parties submitting to the mission. And so when two people come together, there needs to be
That's a
purpose,
word right there.
there needs to be a mission, and both of you guys need to be cooperating with whatever that mission and vision that you agreed upon, and it's the reason why you came together. You guys both should be submitting to that. I don't have this mindset that if my wife has been doing mortgages for 20 years and now we about to buy some property and she telling me something about a mortgage, and because I'm a man, you need to listen to me when this is her professional area. This is her expertise. I need to be listening to her, not her listening to me just because I'm a man. And so I think you have to assess each situation and circumstance as you move along and decide who has the expertise when we talk about these types of things.
All right. Good stuff. That's good.
So you think it's important for a woman to be submissive?
I guess it depends on what works for your household. You know, what might work for mine might not work for his household.
I don't have trouble in that area, so that's why I don't ever have to talk about it.
Okay.
You better say that.
Women, what about you? Is that when you hear the word submissive, does it make you, you okay with that?
I don't think it's natural if depending on the man. Women are going to naturally be submissive to a man that they trust and feel that they can depend and lean on in that sense.
I agree.
So if that's the case, then you crazy if you're not submitting to that.
Yeah,
And especially if he
Healthy
shows
women will do
himself-
that. Healthy women will do that.
Absolutely.
If he also shows himself vulnerable in certain areas, then it's easier for us to be submissive. I tend to prefer the word defer. I like to defer to you if you have, as Inyatu said, more expertise in this area. If that's your thing, run with it.
Sean, you have a comment?
This is to the men. Define submission.
He said he good.
Okay. Well, the other ones who believe that a woman should be submissive, just define it. What is submission to you?
To me,
No,
it's,
who are
it's,
the
oh, you
men?
want the men?
Guys.
The men.
Yeah.
What is
Men's
submission
edition
to you?
hashtag.
So for me, when I think of submission, I think of allowing your man to lead, right? So there are roles that a man naturally should feel in a household. If, for example, I'm sure a lot of people here, when you think about a man and a woman having, say, a piece of property. If that piece of property gets repossessed, it goes into foreclosure, who's the finger going to be pointed at in that relationship? Absolutely. No matter if he didn't even have a job, you're still going to decide that he should have done something to keep that from happening, right? So there's a natural, I think she mentioned it, there's a natural submission that comes if you pick the right man. First of all, you shouldn't be choosing a man that you don't feel comfortable leading.
True.
So,
You know what I mean? That you're supposed to be looking to that situation with that kind of thought process, right? So I think submission should be natural. I don't look at it, I don't create some kind of diagram for it. It just has to be something that you feel.
I just think that submission in relationships have been taught so wrong for so long that it's hard for us to retrain ourselves. Again, I think somebody said it, submission is supposed to be on both sides. In a relationship, in a healthy relationship, it's a partnership. So there's a time when one will lead and the other one will follow. And the other one leads and the other one follows, just like the gentleman said, in the middle, right?
I know that's the answer you like.
What did you say? What did you say?
There's been a lot of answers you like, but I don't feel that way. I feel like okay, let me ask you this. If something goes bump in the night, are you getting up to go check on it?
I did. When I was married.
But is that your role?
But it's not a role. Like,
yeah, it's a role.
I don't know.
You said you did
It's a
when you
role.
were married?
That's
It's
a
a role.
protector.
You're not getting up. First of all, if I'm a man, you ain't getting up to go check on it.
I mean, I
It's
would've-
already
I would've
decided.
loved to
I'm gonna
have.
let you know that you're not getting up to go check
I would have
on it.
loved for that to be the case, but I had to.
But I'm just saying to you,
Right.
you should feel that naturally. You should
Yeah.
feel that, you know.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, for me, when it comes to submission, I need somebody that can tell me to go sit down somewhere. Nicely. He should be able
That's
to tell me that
circumstantial
nicely.
submission, though. That's a circumstance where you should submit, let the man go handle the bump in the night. But
Right.
every situation is not necessarily that. And so I don't think any woman I've ever dated would argue with me about who's going to go check on the bump in the night. And I agree with him that if the building goes into foreclosure, the house goes into foreclosure, that the finger is definitely going to be pointed at the man.
Okay.
It's
We have to
amazing
take
how-
a break here, but we'll be back and maybe we'll continue on this subject for a minute.
It's amazing how quickly the men will submit when it's a child that runs in the bedroom needing help.
Share what you thinking, what you thinking. What's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what you thinking. Hey, what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what you thinking. What's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what you thinking. Hey, what's on your mind?
We're still on the subject of submissiveness. Nisha, you said there was something you wanted to ask.
I was just wondering, what does submission actually, when you hear the word submission, what does that mean to you as women?
To me, it means that somebody's in the lead position. Because we both can't be the Indian chief in here. So I don't care if you want to break it down to 5149. Somebody has to be in the lead position. But when you take that lead position, you also have to understand that there's a lot of accountability and responsibility that comes along with that. Just because somebody has a driver's license does not mean they're a good driver, you know? So you have to pick accordingly to somebody that, as he was saying, that you feel comfortable enough in that situation to be able to lean back and let them get it. And that's why you shouldn't be in counseling in 3 months, because he ain't the one to do that.
What do you think, Marcel?
Okay, I feel
He ain't your one.
I feel like a lot of men have taken advantage of that terminology. You do what I say do. A lot of men feel like that's what they're supposed to, you just do what I say do. But that's not the case. We are supposed to work in this together. I'm alone. I go along with Inyatu a lot. I'm sorry?
The big boss.
The big boss. Whatever it is just not right.
Yeah.
That's
Warren Buffett is the most successful financial investor in the history of the world, or history of America, but he has financial advisors, right? He's paying the cost to be the boss, but he still listens to the people around him. He doesn't do what they say, but he at least engages them and allows them to share their expertise. And so, what's wrong with allowing your wife to share her expertise and then assess it?
You have to go to
Say
the
that again?
microphone.
Okay, true.
You have to go to the microphone.
So yeah, I could definitely say that being submissive now, it just seems like it's a lost. People don't want to do that too much no more. It's because it seems like it's so much competitiveness that's going on.
I think it's the confusion of what it means.
Right.
I think that's what it is.
Exactly.
Some women are going to feel like, why am I if they don't trust you to actually make good decisions, or you've done things to make them feel they can't trust you to make good decisions, that's going to get some drawback. It's going to be like, you're not about to, run me into a burning building now. Hold on now, what you doing?
But that's why
that's going to get
somebody
that.
that would be able to tell me to go sit down somewhere. By that, I don't mean literally that. I just mean somebody that just makes me feel like,
yeah, he got it. Right.
When he says your name, you know in the tone and the way he says your name what it means.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I also said that. That's why I also said that it's very natural. If a woman feels that, she's going to fall back. Most women want to be able to be like, okay, yeah, he got it, child. Take the pressure off. No, people do not want that, right?
I think we got to be careful with that word most, that there's a lot of psychological warfare going on against relationships.
Yeah.
And so a lot of women are being encouraged not to be submissive no matter what is going on. And so it depends on how healthy you are, whether or not you're just going to naturally submit, because depending on your upbringing, you've been with a person for a couple of months and they've demonstrated something to you, but the previous 30 years of your life, every man wasn't demonstrating that they could lead. That may override what you're seeing right now in this moment.
Yeah. So in that sense, it would probably take time to get to that point.
Right.
that and some therapy and taking a little time.
I support therapy.
That 3-month therapy coming in.
And then submissive don't mean that she got to pick up behind, everything that I do.
No.
She got to, come home. She work, I work, and she got to come home and take care of everything. Some people think that is being submissive because the woman does everything, and that doesn't mean that. It means that we should both share, just like you said, both, share the responsibility of doing work around the house. Doesn't mean that she's not submissive because I'm helping her out. It's just that the road that we took on.
We have someone at the mic.
What's your comment?
To weigh into this, you said something that's very important, like the past 30 years. I think what's missing is a lot of women have not seen men's men. there are not a lot of men's left, meaning in spite of what's going on in the household, I am still the man, I am still taking responsibility. The buck stops with him. And he may not necessarily pay all the bills because today you sometimes need 2 incomes, but in the old days, I can say that I knew some older men that were men's. They were fathers to their kids. They were husbands to their wives, and they led. They had a job. They did the after-school programs with their daughters. They went to the college. They did all of it. They were men's, and they don't make them anymore. Right. You have some women that have never seen what a true man is. I'm blessed that I knew what a true man is. Now, my parents separated when I was young, but my father was still a presence in my life until he passed away. So if you have not seen it, you really don't know what you're looking for. The Cosby's, the fake dads on TV, that's not reality. A real dad is there even to pick you up when you fall down and to give you that pat, baby, you can do whatever it is that you need to do, and be with you from first grade on. My husband to my granddaughter, we're raising our grandchild. He is a man's man, a daddy to my granddaughter when our son has not been.
Yeah.
If she looks at her pawpaw, he will not let her down. And when my son comes and he wants to try and rule her, he'll put him in his place. Yes, that's your daughter, but I'm raising her. You're not going to treat her this way. You're not going to treat her that way. I'm here with her every day. I do her homework. Yeah. So she's seeing right now what a pawpaw or what a father should be done versus what her daddy actually is doing.
Well, that's
and
very,
it's made a difference.
Very commendable.
It's made a difference in her life.
Now, I have a response
He's told
to that.
her that if you call me, I will answer. He might not answer my phone call, but you let her call him. If he's busy, he gonna call her back and tell her, hey, baby, I was whatever, but he gonna get back to her. Her daddy won't even call her back. So she's being shown the difference right now, and that's gonna make a big difference in her life. She's 8. It's gonna make a big difference in her life.
So this may surprise you all, coming from me, but you haven't been in these single streets in 30-something years? You've been married for 30 years, right?
No, I've been married 30 years. I've been married 17, but I've been
Enough. Okay, I've been in these streets. So okay, but I've been in these single streets consistently for the last 30-something years. And let me tell you, it's not always the men's fault for the things that they don't do. A lot of us single women make it real easy for a man to do nothing because we do it all. They come in and they do nothing. And they would rather do nothing with someone that accepts that than someone that challenges them to do more.
I would like to go on record and say that I have never done it all. Okay, I ain't about to do it.
Wait a minute, what did you say?
So a lot of times it's their sons that they're not making do anything. So a lot of times these men are men's, to use her quote, because they weren't raised by men. And so a lot of times women will spoil their sons to death. That usually when these young boys have sneaker collections and things of that nature, it's the mom that's using all the discretionary income and spending all that money, where a dad may go make them get a job or a hustle.
And so again, it's still the women that
you can only speak about your experience, ma'am.
Exactly.
Ma'am, you can only speak about your experience, ma'am. You haven't been in these single streets, ma'am.
About most men, you said we should make a statement about most men. Don't say that about my son's an only child. Okay, he's an only child. But I set limits with him. I'm a retired nurse now. My son never wanted for anything, but I was a mother that if he didn't make his bed right, I took ROTC when I went to Weston House. So if he didn't make his bed right, I would snatch that sucker off. He'd have to do it again. My ex-husband said I was a drill sergeant. So now my son is the way he is because he let the world, not what I set up for him. If he had followed my roadmap, he'd have his PhD. I work for the university. I retired from the University of Toledo in Ohio. Free tuition. He could have had his master's degree. He's 30, he was 6 months when I started there. He'll be 33 this year. So no. I set limits. Now my ex-husband, he did not.
I never said most men, man.
No, but I'm just saying, you said we spoil. No, I set limits.
You admitted that he didn't want for nothing right at the beginning of your statement.
But you know what? The reason why he didn't want for nothing, let's clarify this. In the old days, now I'll be 60 next year, but days of old, most young black men, when they were coming up, they got into drugs and different things like that because they had no choice. Their family may not have had the income to take care of them, to give them the things that they wanted. That was not my son's case, and I always told him, I don't give you the things that I give you because you are so good. I give them to you because I don't want you to have any reason to not succeed. I am trying to make sure you succeed in every way. As I say, he had free tuition and all of that. But once I saw that he was not following the lead that I wanted him to, I pulled back. He has to learn on his own. Now,
but you know what the good part of that is that you said that you taught him everything fundamentally. So it's kind of like the scriptures say that you train up a boy accordingly, it will not be far removed from him. So one day, somewhere, all of the things that you poured into him may come back to you.
And I believe that. I believe that because he knows. And I always tell him, well, he don't want to hear it.
I will chime in and say, I definitely didn't say most. And even with your example, a lot of the young guys that I saw choose the street life actually came up with everything. But their parents didn't teach them anything that would help them be able to go out and get it on their own. Right. And so when they got to an age where they wanted it and the parents weren't just giving it to them anymore, then they chose the streets because that's what they were used to. And so a lot of times when we spoil our kids, we create lifestyles for them that they can't keep up once they become adults. And if we don't give them the tools to be able to do that, then they may choose the streets trying to keep up with the Joneses in that case.
You know what I think? I think that I'm so happy that we invited the men to the panel. I hope you guys will come join us again. Because I feel like Kevin Samuels did, y'all should be able to speak your mind as well. You know, I like to have dialogue with men and hear what they think about things. You know, because that's how I learn about you. You know what I'm saying? So how did you ladies enjoy it?
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely. What about you all?
Yes.
Well, all right then. We're gonna wind it up today. So what you think? I did have a dear so what you think so y'all could get in somebody's business, but I think out of time, so I better. But next time we get together, we'll be in somebody's business. Don't y'all worry about it.
As always.
Y'all so much. Give it up for the fellas again.
Share what you thinking, what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, hey, what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, tell me what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, hey, what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, hey, what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, what's on your mind? Share what you thinking, hey, what's on your mind? Hey.